Duna Bliss. There are many ways to achieve seeing the Duna, as I often choose to do this by bicycle. The Duna, or Danube as known in English, is one of the famous and celebrated rivers as it ventures halfway across Europe from Germany to the Black Sea. Exploring the Duna any time of the year is always a pleasure. I often venture from Budapest to the Friendship Bridge at the Esztergom border, passing by the wondrous Duna Bend. For a first impression, may I introduce a bird's eye view of the Duna and central Budapest as seen from the Gelet Hill. On the left are the Buda Hills, and before us is the grandiose National Gallery. Further along is the historical castle district with museums, galleries, meandering streets, cosy corners, hotels that eventually lead to the distinguished Matthias Church and the Halas Bastia lookout tower. On the more commercial Pest side stands many fine offices, residential buildings, as well as the architecturally famed Parliament building. In between Buda and Pest is Margaret Islands, that hosts excellent swimming facilities, a concert venue, and an idyllic place to rest by the musical fountain. This island is a great place for children and makes a wondrous getaway from the city. We continue northwards along the Buda side, passing the grandiose Széchenyi Landseat, the chain bridge with its imperialistic lions perched at both sides. Behind is the Országház, the exquisite and elegant Hungarian parliament. This unique UNESCO World Heritage Site is situated in Kossuth Lyle Square and built between 1885 to 1904, and has played a part with Hungarian sovereignty and politics ever since. The exquisite building itself is of Gothic revival style, whilst the elegant domes are a Renaissance revival and is a high distinguished cultural wonder. Continuing along on the same side, our sortie takes us 20 kilometers upstream to the quaint Saint-André, or St. Andrew. This enchanting small town, dating back from 1146, has a calm provincial atmosphere and is a mecca for local artists, authors, poets, musicians and actors. There are many quaint churches of various dominions, as well as fine galleries and restaurants. Should camping be your style, there is the wonderful Pap Siget campsite a little further upstream from the town. Another 20 kilometers further along this popular riverside route is the red medieval castle town of Visegrád, with Nagy Maros directly opposite. They are the first two main towns of this illustrious Duna Bend, and both connect with the all-year-round ferry. From Visegrád Castle, one gets the best view of this immediate area. The further upstream one gets, the more rugged the landscape becomes. As I pause to take in the splendor of the Domus rocky peaks alongside with my daughter Judy. 20 kilometers later, I arrive at the royal town of Esztergom, with a highly symbolic basilica before me. Esztergom is truly a Danubian place and really has a spiritual presence. Pope John Paul II visited in 1990, and this is at the center of the Hungarian Catholic Church. Once you have walked the romantic cobblestone streets, passing by many buildings up to the basilica grounds, a fine panorama of Slovakia awaits, as one can immediately see to Sturovo and beyond. To get there, head towards the Maria Valeria Friendship Bridge to get the best views of the Esztergom Basilica. Visit anywhere along the Sturovo-Duna shoreline. Sturovo, the most southern point of Slovakia, is also worth a visit before either venturing 150 kilometers along the Duna cycle path to Bratislava, or in this case, returning to Budapest on the other side and lesser known part of the Duna. For this, I have to make a 10 kilometers same way return to the tiny Pilis-Marot harbour and take the 10-minute ferry crossing to the Sob shoreline. As this tugboat shunters along, there is Slovakia on one side of the river and Hungary on the other. Lesser known Sob has a very lovely quiet atmosphere and very much my favourite landmark. The unruffled Duna scenery without the crowds along the number 12 road and cycle lane is at its most wild and its scenic's best, before flowing downstream towards the enchanting Nagy Maros with Visegrád Castle in plain view. Continuing 15 kilometers from Nagy Maros is the riverside town of Vas, similar to Esztergom with a basilica, Also a lovely scenic town with many restaurants and conveniences on hand. From that I took the ferry to St Andrew Island and made my way southwards to another harbour and made my way to Duna. Once again, this immediate and wondrous riverside scenery is a paradise for swimmers, walkers and cyclists alike. Finally, I returned to Budapest that summer's evening. The Pest riverside, with its many bars and restaurants, were in full flow, as many tourists and local people congregate together to capture the high nighttime atmosphere. It is generally known to explore Buda by day, Pest by night. To round this off, I wish to take you, dear friends, somewhere unexpected but very special. Well, special to me, because I am English and this came as much of a surreal surprise. To achieve this, we must return to the Buda site and cycle 12 kilometers southwards to the lesser-known riverside town of Budafok. Facing opposite is the industrial atmosphere of northern Chepel-Sighet, with the tall, imposing chimneys of the Chepel-Muvek works, all very much off the tourist trail. However, continuing along the cycle lane with the chimney still in view comes the unexpected, as on this particular shoreline, two original English red double-decker buses suddenly appear and provides a buffet and a welcome rest for the surprised cyclist. I then present myself to the friendly staff who immediately pick up on my English identity as they then serve me pancakes and ginger beer. From the buses, I end this tour knowing that I will return to recapture the history, mystery and magic as the Duna continues its elegant flow elsewhere in its eternal waltz.